The main concern is the overcapacity in caprolactam, which has built up in China with endeavours by the government to make the country self-sufficient in caprolactam, and with the current slowdown in the Chinese economy, it means that the market is oversupplied. This means that exporters from the rest of the world are finding their exports to China contracting, which means that there's an increasing surplus in the rest of the world. So caprolactam producers around the world are fighting for margin, and because of the oversupply, this has driven the majority of them into a situation where they are not able to cover their costs with the prices that they can manage to achieve. So this is a long-term danger to the industry, with nearly all producers losing money, and one wonders how this is going to pan out in the future. However, caprolactam plants are quite complex. They're very often tied in with other parts of a chemical site, which all makes it very difficult to shut plants on a permanent basis. So more and more plants, particularly in China, are having to be operated on a stop-go basis, which is not good for quality, but at least it stops the price crashing completely. The lack of profitability, or actually the losses at the caprolactam end, then gets transmitted also downstream, so the same is true also for the nylon 6 producers, and also for the nylon 6 filament producers, although to a lesser extent. So probably the brunt of the losses are being experienced by caprolactam, somewhat lesser losses at the nylon 6 stage, and somewhat lower losses at the filament stage. Even engineering polymer, as regards virgin polymer, is in the same position of margins being compressed to zero, and maybe just a little bit of money is still being made at the compounding end, with the automobile industry being a major consumer of compounded nylon 6, and the automobile industry is generally doing fairly well around the world, certainly in the United States, also improving in Europe. Things have slowed down in China, but apart from China, the automobile market is looking fairly healthy at the moment, which helps the nylon 6 compound. A major factor is the cost of benzene, which accounts for about half the cost of producing caprolactam, and of course the volatility of the benzene market is quite a problem for caprolactam producers. It looks as if in the next few months benzene prices are likely to increase, though, of course, in the end, what happens on crude oil is another factor. If crude oil stays fairly constant around the $40 per barrel mark, then one can expect benzene prices to be going up, and that will have to be pushed through onto caprolactam prices. It may take 1 to 3 months for the increase in benzene to be passed on to caprolactam. Beyond that, of course, it depends really what happens on the crude oil price, and there nobody knows quite. If some measures are taken to at least keep supply constant in crude oil, then maybe towards the end of the year some improvement in crude oil prices can be expected. That will flow through into benzene, flow through also into caprolactam, and maybe in a regime of increasing benzene costs, caprolactam price increases could be kept ahead of that, which should restore the industry to profitability, to break even. So maybe in 12 months' time, the industry should at least stop bleeding money and be able at least to achieve break even for most producers. Some, of course, have low costs and continue to be making money, but for many producers, it will be a relief to stem the losses which they're currently bearing.